In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create visuals for your music inside Ableton Live. I'm going to be using a suite of Max for Live devices called ZwoBot. If you're new to ZwoBot, I'd recommend you go back and watch my previous tutorials, so I'll put a link to that playlist in the top right corner of the screen now. And if you're interested in buying ZwoBot, there's a link in the description. You can get all of these devices, which are various visual effects and visual generators, for about $69. In this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about the Move device. I've already brought it into my project and connected it to my player. So let's bring an image into my player so that we can actually see what the Move device is doing. So I'm just going to drag and drop an image from a folder onto this video deck, and I'm going to hit play. So the Move module, in order for it to work, because we can see it's not doing anything at the moment, you either need to set it to automatically trigger itself via a BPM control here, or you can manually trigger it with this button. So first, let's look at this BPM dial. This is going to be matched to your master BPM. So my BPM is 175. If I start to bring this up and I turn it to one note, now we can see that the image is moving. And here we have a sequence. So what all these arrows mean is the direction that the visual is going to move in. So they're all currently pointed up, which is why it's just moving up. And you can see that these circles underneath are flashing. That is when this particular movement is being triggered. So if I were to change this second one to down, we'll see when it comes around to this second one, it's going to move down. So it's moving up now, and now it's moving down, and now it's moving back up. So this is like a sequencer for the movement and the direction it's going to move in. And this beat control here is going to control how fast this sequence moves. So it's currently moving every one note, but I can move this up to make it faster. So not only does that go through the sequence faster, but it also makes the movement itself faster. And I can go again, so you can see it's also moving quicker as well as going to the next sequence quicker. So if I change this one to right, this one to left, we can see it's going up, down, right, left, and then up, 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 down, left, right, left, up, 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 up. So that's your BPM control. And this works separately from your master beat control. We can see here I've got my master beat control off, and it's still working. So it's a built-in beat control that ignores this. What about if you have that off and you've got this manually button here? What that means is you can manually trigger each part of the sequence. So currently it's here, so when I press it, it's going to go to this. So let's change that to left. So when I click it now, the image is going to move to the left. Oh, now it's going to. There we go. It was on this one before. So this allows you to have more manual control. If you don't want it to be constantly moving, or you don't want it to be synced to the BPM, you can just hit this and manually control when it moves to the next sequence point. With this manual control, you don't have control over how fast the movement happens. So with the BPM, the movement gets faster as the sequence gets faster. Whereas with this, the movement is always the same speed, no matter how fast you click it. The actual movement itself is still the same speed, so that's just something to bear in mind. I'm going to use the BPM control. I'm just going to put it on one note because my BPM is quite fast. Okay, so next let's look at this mode. Currently the mode is set to sequence, which means it's going to go through this sequence in order. But what we can also do is select random, and that's going to go through this sequence randomly. And dice, I'm not entirely sure how this one works, but it seems to completely ignore what settings you've got here, because we can see none of these are lighting up now. So I think it's a particular sequence which it just repeats, which ignores this, but I can't really tell what the actual sequence is doing. But I'm going to put it back to sequence here. And then Quickset, this is some presets for this sequence. Now again, if you're on dice mode, it doesn't matter because it ignores this anyway. But if you're on sequence, I can select up, which is going to just set them all to up, down, which will set them all to down, so it's always going to move down. Same with left, same with right, and then random is just going to randomize this sequence. And mode controls how the movement happens. So slide, the visual is sliding across, and follow has this overlay effect. So you can see it's almost like a wipe effect. Mirror will also have that wipe effect, but when it wipes it, it's mirroring it, so it's flipping the image. Shift is going to split the image up, like this. And then stack will stack one image on top of the other. So it's just different types of movements depending on what kind of effect you want. And that mode setting has both a beat control, so we can have this change in accordance with this BPM. So again, this responds to the move's internal beat control, not the master beat control. We can see my master beat control is off, but it's still changing because it's responding to this. And if I move this up, it's going to move quicker. So we've got an internal beat control on that mode setting. We've also got audio responsive controls here. So I'm going to set it to low so that it's going to respond to the lower frequency. Let's have some music. This is a track by me. It's from an album I released in March this year, 2024, called Echoes of an Abandoned Future on Machine Records. I'll put a link to the album in the description if you want to listen to it. So let's unmute this. So this is now changing in accordance with the lower frequencies, or I can have it change in accordance with the higher frequencies. I'll just turn that off for now. And in the bottom right corner, we've got our usual transparency controls. So this setting controls the overall transparency of the effect. And then we've got some different blend modes we can use. So that's the Move device. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll be back with another ZwoBot tutorial soon.